Yo, it's here for arise for God. Yo, it's here for when you're here. Arise for Ghana dear. When him say NDC for Yababe Seja, Yababe Tenase, Yabachina Kunyemu. And I'm so excited, sir, and Nesube the dead, Yabasube Pim. More tennis, India was, of course, Iga winning. Memano, very soon we should be joining them. Carlos Odi Ahunka Akares, any Daniel Medvedev, ball finals. Then from here we go to Miami. If free Miami, I call Roland Garros in France, and those of us who attend this class, we are having fun every single week. Yes, welcome everybody. My name is Kingsley Komla Elike Morty. My brother Eliasu is here. Rashid is here. This month is an amazing month. We continue to have an amazing time. Ramadan month there. Wow, who said we are Bozagra Ramadan month. But I will be asking. Let me introduce my guest. Then we jump into the topics for today and see how far God, Allah, will take us. Today is a beautiful day, so let's do it. Let's do it together. We are looking at so much happening in Ghana right now. Of course, we are told by the MPP that Mami Wata have gone to chew our cables in the coming from the same people who, under President Kufuor, sent pastors to go and pray over Kosovo. Me, I am not surprised. The MPP will continue to be the MPP. Elias, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing very well. Thanks be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum to everybody.
Wa alaikum salam, Baba. Welcome. Rashid, welcome. Charlie, how is are you in Worcester?
Yeah, I'm in Worcester, Mass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worcester. How is Worcester?
Worcester is fine. It's a sunny day, but it's somehow cold outside.
I know.
But yeah,
I know.
we're doing good here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are on.
The first time I went out of Ghana and I saw the sun is on and the weather was cold. I said, Kai, this sun is fake.
Yeah. Yeah, Worcester here is deceiving, right? The weather is very deceiving.
Right.
So it changes every time. But
Awesome.
yeah, we are here for God and country Ghana. So yeah, we need
Awesome.
to expose these people.
Let me talk to Paul. Paul is on today. Paul said he is not going to be on video, but he is here. Gidigbam. All of those people who say they love Paul, Paul is here today. Lydia, you won't mention your last name. I'll leave it alone. You are in Tamale. You said Paul, once he starts, fire has come. Paul De Soso, how are you doing, my brother?
Mr. Morty, I'm doing very good, and I'm happy to join this afternoon. As I told you, unfortunately, I'm on the road, but always for country and God and for party. We are here. We can contribute. We can.
Awesome, Paul. You were on mute.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, so we are looking at Afenyo Malkin. You see, let's not look at it like he's attacking Prof. This is a direct attack on women of Ghana, and we need to be very serious. We need to be careful the kind of things that we say about our women. The Supreme Court, Mahama said 24 hours. The Supreme Court said, you are right, sir. What you are saying is the way to go. And we will show you that before you even come to power, we will start. And to show that we are ready for 24 hours. And then after 2 years, COVID is come and gone. Every country has moved on. Nana Dodonko Akufo-Addo alone here. He is even introducing more taxes in the name of COVID, collecting COVID money and chopping. I'll go to my brother Salisu to start for us. This week and last week, we have seen Dumsor, unprecedented amount of Dumsor. The ECG boss, who is called Mahama, by the way. Look, he came on radio, and to be honest, the guy sounded really good. And I tell myself that there is something about this name Mahama that the guy was speaking very well. But of course, he's an MVP man, so there was a lot of lies in there. He said they were doing repairs. Of course, we all know that this is not about repairs. The Dumsor is back. The ECG is refusing to give us timetable. And of course, now for some obvious reasons, our country, which the NPP is in power, preaching digitization, but refusing to add megawatts, to add more bandwidth to our country, we are seeing the repercussions of what every country goes through when you are depending on fiber and cable. And not satellites, which if JM was in power, we would have been at by now. So let's look at these two things. Dumsor, internet. Many Ghanaians are suffering. Many Ghanaians cannot watch us right now because, of course, their internet is not on. I understand the iPhone photo there, they are suffering. Send us a message if you're on iPhone and you can see us. Let me know. Android, I understand you are fine. You are surviving. Let's start from this matter and then we will keep going. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak this afternoon. Again, just as my co-panelist said, it's for the love of country and then for the love of the party. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And lies will continue to be lies because we remember very well when President John Mahama was leaving office in 2016, 2017, the level of Dumsor, where he took Dumsor to. Every Ghanaian in Ghana and abroad can attest to what President Mahama did, the megawatts or kilowatts that he added to our electricity supply. Because any country in this world, your development depends on your energy source. If you don't have power, how do your institutions function, let alone the private sector, companies and corporations? Everybody needs power. The former president, in his best, did all that he could do for the country to be, at least, not to be fully, okay with electricity, but we got somewhere that could have taken Ghana forward. But fast forward, when this present government came in, we all saw what they talked about, what they said about Ameri deal. If you remember, they said it was over bloated. They sent people to Dubai to go and do investigations. They spent a lot of money. And at the end of the day, what came out of it? Nothing. They keep saying they came, they've put Dumsor as a thing of the past. But it's not true. Every Ghanaian in Ghana knows where President Mahama left Ghana in terms of our energy needs. And I keep saying NPP should also come and tell us, when they took over power January 2017, how many megawatts or kilowatts have they added to the electricity supply in Ghana? They should come out. We are not talking about stories. We are talking about, oh, it's a policy that we consider. What is it that in practical terms you have done for the people of Ghana? That is the question that I'm asking. So to me, I'm not surprised. Look at the amount of money that they wasted on this Ameri deal and then our electricity issue in Ghana. We shouldn't have been facing this today. But like you rightly said, they are not even coming out with a timetable for Ghanaians to see that they have failed in that direction. They keep giving excuses, but the good people of Ghana are seeing the reality on the ground. They don't have power 24/7 like the way me and you enjoy in America. We pay for our light bill and our lights never go off. In Ghana, they pay for the power, but they never even have the power to do whatever they have to do. So it's a problem that this government has created. Why do I say it's a problem? Whatever their predecessor did when they came into power, they could have easily built on that. That is how development goes. Oh, NDC is leaving office. Suffice it to say that, oh, they have maybe 2 megawatts of power for us. I'm just using that as an example. We have come, let's also increase it from 2 to maybe 4 or to 6. Then we see that there is development in that sector. But you come and make all unfounded allegations, spend millions of dollars, and up to now, nothing has come out of it. Now the country is back to where we were before Mahama took over government. It's unfortunate. You talk about the internet issue, the fiber problem that we have. Yes, these are some of the things. If you elect an incompetent government into power, every that they touch falls into an abyss. It falls into a hole. And that is where we are today. I keep saying, if Nana Addo was really serious and had Ghana at heart, whatever that President Mahama left in place, if I were him, that I was looking at Ghana first, the first thing I would have done is to complete everything that President Mahama did so that I even take the credit. Mahama is not interested in taking credit. We are interested in moving Ghana forward, development. Take whatever infrastructure he has left off. It wasn't his money. This was money from the taxpayer. It is for Ghana. These are properties for the Republic of Ghana. Build on it, modernize it, improve upon it, and let every Ghanaian see that, oh, really, when you came, this is what Mahama NDC did, and you have also continued. But you came left it as it is, spent millions of dollars with flimsy investigations that have not yielded any result. Today, as we speak, look at what the country is going through. Because of this seabed fiber disruption, the whole of the country is in turmoil. We're in the 21st century. And this is government elected by the people to come and serve the people. All the monies that you have borrowed, collected from various international institutions, what did you do with the money? When basic necessities like our power, electricity supply is number one of the key architects for industrialization in the country, you have not been able to add anything to it. And you keep giving us excuses. Mr. President, I think you and your government, you have failed Ghanaians woefully. It's a fact. We are not just here trying to just blame you. You were elected into office. You told Ghanaians, Ghanaians should try you and see. And Ghanaians believed in you. They gave you that opportunity to also come and do it for Ghanaians to see. But what have we seen? It's like we sold our color TV and went and bought a black and white TV. That is where we are today. You've taken, you and your government, the history in the history in Ghana. You are the only president that came with the largest government in the history of Ghana. Your first time you came with 120 plus ministers. America is the largest democracy in the world. How many ministers do we have in America? They are not even up to 30. The largest democracy in the world. We are 1/10 of United States population. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. In fact, the 8th or 9th populous in the world. How many ministers do they have? But a country like Ghana, family and friends, you came and created opportunity for them to loot and share 120 ministers. For what? And all these ministerial positions comes with what? Fringe benefits and emoluments. That is where we are today. The basic infrastructure that you should have concentrated on to make Ghana move forward, you have not done it. 7 years in office. Dumsor is back. I don't want to hear people coming to sit on radio and TV. What are you justifying? What are you justifying? You are justifying nothing. This government has woefully failed. Now with this fiber optic disruption under the sea, look at it, the whole country is paralyzed. Ghanaians some cannot communicate outside the country. Those of us here even make calls to Ghana. It's unfortunate. People cannot hear you. The line is not clear. What have you done? You were elected into office to have solved some of these problems. So Kingsley, if you ask me, I will tell you that this government in power today has completely failed, and Ghanaians have seen their level of failure. Because what are they coming to tell us? We are 7 months away from election. 7 years, you couldn't do anything. 7 months, what can you do? I cannot wait for 7 December to come for the good people of Ghana this time. Please, don't look at name. Don't look at tribe. Don't look at the high school that you attended. Don't look at family ties. Look out for Ghana. Who is the best person that when we bring into office will have the interests of Ghana at heart? When I talk of interest, not personal interest, not parochial interest. We are talking about what are the measures that we will put in place so that the country called Ghana will also move forward. We are not saying that when you come, you are Jesus, you can save every Ghanaian. That is not what we are saying. But there is some expectation when you swear that oath, to defend and uphold the Constitution of Ghana as the president. There is some level of expectations that Ghanaians expect from you. Mr. President, if you ask me as a Ghanaian, I am somebody who is open-minded. When you came into office, I, for example, said, let's try him also and see. Maybe he will also do something better. But honestly speaking, as we speak today, I am completely disappointed in your government. Because there is nothing that I can pinpoint that when you came, whatever people said about you, that, you have been in government and you have the expertise, you have the experience, so you will do a better job than you were calling your predecessor incompetent. You said it all over the world with your vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, chastising the former president. But today, life has taught us that not all that glitters is gold. The person you were tagging as incompetent has rather emerged to be one of the best presidents Ghana has ever had. You, with your government, rather, you have failed. You've solicited for funds. You've taken a lot of loans from international institutions. Can you, for heaven's sake, come out and account to Ghanaians and tell Ghanaians that, look, when Mahama was leaving, this was the megawatt he left. When we came, this is what we have done. So that Ghanaians will say, it's true. When these people came, this is what they have done. But we are not seeing that. You only come out with your appointees, excuses. Time for excuses is over. Ghanaians are ready to kick this incompetent government from power. Kingsley, I rest my submission here. Let somebody also come in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was solid. I think that you have nailed it. So, Rashid, I'm coming to you because I want you to carefully, and again, the problem is that many of us will talk about this on a higher level, on a simplicity part of it. Dr. Mahmoud has come and he's preaching digitization, and the question I kept asking many Ghanaians is that when you heard Biden speak in his State of the Nation address, he said, we are strengthening the internet and giving access to people. He didn't say, I'm putting internet on a bus. He didn't say, I'm digitizing. Now, explain to the people of Ghana what is happening so far as the internet is concerned and deal with the issue of Dumsor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kingsley. I believe this is a concern to Ghanaians, and we are here for our motherland, Ghana, to expose some of these lies that Bawumia keeps propagating all around us. Because if you look at his only message around digitalization here and there, I believe we are in interesting times, and he has been exposed largely on especially what are we seeing now? Most people don't have access to the internet, and it's all about digitalization. As you mentioned, building apps. We will get time and get into the technical pieces of it, but I believe that is just a piece on the 7th layer of the OCI model. I don't want to get much technical into these things, but this is just a piece of a layer that we use in computing and interconnection of networks, which is the application layer, which has its own fundamentals and architecture that needs to be built upon. And we need to look at something when you talk about digitalization and what is currently happening. We need to emphasize on the redundancy and how we diversify our power on some of these single point of failures, right? Because if you are much concerned about digitalization here and there, we need to caution the NCA, who is the regulator, to ensure that all these telcos in Ghana need to have some backup and recovery strategies, whereby some of these disasters, whenever they occur, we've been working with big organizations, and we know that there is this disaster recovery strategies and business continuity strategies. So when it comes to these digitalization and allowing internet to flow in a country, this is undersea cable, right? They said undersea cable has been disrupted here and there.
Right.
And we need to look at how the former president, John Dramani Mahama, invested in the digital infrastructure of our country by implementing 800 kilometers worth of fiber optics nationwide, right? Across the nation and inland. If we are comparing some of these what's the name? This deep sea cables, they are just giving access to the coastal areas in all the continent. But if you don't have these inland cables, such as the fiber optics that the former president John Dramani Mahama built across the countries, you cannot even have access to it. This disruption affected some countries, such as Ivory Coast, here and there. But I've noticed that they've been easily recovered from this disruption, but Ghana, we are still struggling, right? I want to blend it with the truth so that people understand.
Yes.
You're kind of saying, idea where is no internet in semi AC, no, and you Ghana and Kwana to you. Ivory Coast so be too warm, but because of say Ghana, no, yes, sorry, Bawumia, essay, or the digitalization, yeah, the message in Kwana, no, I'm say. Ono nkwa message digitalization is ade ade na also who strategies be for digitalization said ye beya obetoto niam akwa e de betoto na akwa so echine bi ni BBC a affect ye and ehun se nyuma bebre nkoso wo Ghana omo ye uba enye adwuma hotels radio stations wo de hwe ye wo akwantu omu ye streaming most of the TV stations in Ghana this week. Almost streaming live being because almost data nyina anye adwuma ye besi dey communicate ya training pa bra unam Ghana also digitalization oba Ghana no na say wa ban ba ban mu 7 years ago dey pa na wo dey abeka digital infrastructure ho cable ya yetwa mu yi ye mfa ne say nka your former president John Dramani Mahama for country Ghana or building 800 kilometers fiber optics and cow buy was Miss me the bear young fan saw the barco pet then abecount inland said the bear and cardi we see and you bet me a switch out to baby so but omubai dn or slaus where ya now a sign contract be with the telcos and answer international community of communications for no na oma j ebi yes mo de adi bi ba na mo ho akwajem but they also mo de ba infrastructure na e be support to Ghana for ama Ghana for adwuma atimi akoso mpuntuo na eyi akoso ama ye nuanom ai na omo adwuma asɛ nyina akoso no omo anye ba de na ehu ye omo de atro kontompo ne na da e na be da Ghana for be gi tumi efiri Ghana for nsem mprepi na na ye me ya ye hwɛ former president ade oben wo Ghana no ebi nsi da o ebi nsi da ye yi your friend is saying Kwame Nkrumah through in terms of infrastructure, basic infrastructure na architect ni nyina no obaye 4 years o de yenhwe de waye yehwe no sa power outage ya muka sa 800 kilowatt fiber optics now install in inland no nanka 84 na ene o ma beto your friend is saying Airtel Tigo a omo ton di omo botom no nke na enu ntimi omo nyina switch on that Ghana for ni bi use ntinka mobile no na mo de bia beka ho na akoso omo anye but your former president no oya ade a wonhwe se oya ma NDC fo nko a oya ma Ghana fo ye nuanom ye ma amenom ye papanom a omo Ghana nti no ye bibia nti oya ade na omo na span across ono nko ane term said ye ba ya MPP fo nso be den e ba benya so mfaso edi ama ene ba omianam Ghana or build the apps e was infrastructure na a former president e build the so na wode no edi nkomo so we say ubedi dia your former president no nim so o ya ma Ghana nti no wan bohu dawuro said ye ne ba omia wuri si ha no o ka ho asem o wuri si ha no o ka ho asem no omo de atro ne ndada tumi a omo penti no ombe dada Ghana for yen switch from eno so no ye ka say digitalization most of the basic power any internet internet enkoso ana ebiem power nso ni ho dumso asemi a ye kan no e start yenye no enye ne dumso e start Rawlings time Kofo time nyina na dumso ho ana your former president John Atamos may he still rest in peace ono so no e ba ye ne koso e drew your former president John Dramani Mahama so e koso oto ne bo ase so be fix it abrebi esi a obonsi a manage ne kakra bi yenhwe the root cause of it ye ka say root cause a kinsil me ba kromu abekuko school kakra na me hu say Ghana ade ba ko ye lucky ade bi e friend root cause analysis root cause asem si a ye behwe ne yini no na ye tu afiri wo no bonsi akotwa so eno na MPP for ya no mu twitwa problems wo bonsi asa ba biem but your former president John Dramani Mahama e ba ye no obehu say dum so we etete Ghana for nti dia pa na metimi aye ama na bo na ye tu dum so edua no hini ni nyina ase ana start say obe invest in the megawatt power na ye no before say obe start di bia be count na almost 1500 yan kan say 1500 megawatt of data power supply Ghana for nyina yenim say oman no ye nyina ye kɔ yenim no population ni bi be increase nipa ebewo na ye kɔ enim ade chi ade sa ye dɔɔso nko a nti wo dwene a no wadwene kyene bi eno nti ne frɛ the former president John Dramani Mahama say we visionary oba ya ohun sa ade we nyina say nti dum so aba me pensu ya Ghana for ka ho asɛm bebebe ne de na meye o se mitimi tumi hini na me solve the root cause of it nti no ye de otimi install a thermal plant wa aboaze ekofa car power Ameri power emani be generate additional megawatt of power can the existing power plant na ye wono Ghana na say power na ye wono now before you call your friend is in Nigeria and a cotton oil ebegum ni nyina o generate sa de we wa boaze e Ghana yetimi e produce bi export to bi ma Togo Burkina any friend is saying Ivory Coast I know so yenye sky den efrim but oye sa de we nyina no utimi di bi beka Ghana John Dramani Mahama efi so no na ubebusa expert bia na the install and answer the power generation capacity ani ye wono na etwem 5000 currently me no ka say megawatt megawatt of power na yɛwɔ no around 3,600 ana yɛwɔ but sisi edi ani ehu ne Ghana yehu sɛ ɛso tete di ntra you lose almost 600 of that power na John Dramani Mahama be gyae to hɔ no you lose saa deɛ ma no nyinaa because yɛntumi generate power bebree ɛmma Ghana fo ɛnyɛ bi nti na wɔ sɛ yɛ start load shedding no the term no your friend load shedding sɛ wo try sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ na power supply ne the demand of it no wobɛyɛ no obi ɛnya bi by then MPP for we no be communicate akyerɛ Ghana for say oh adeɛ we esi no yɛyɛ no Dumsor no sɛ ɔmo ana de bi ni bae MPP for de adeɛ bi ba Ghana politics mu before sɛ meto ase na wɔ sɛ yɛtumi emphasize say ɔmo mbu Ghana for MPP for mbu Ghana for baako say MPP for ayɛ say oh obi yɛ security ɛmfa ne sɛ ofiri asantemema o security ufiri sire ma yɛ sɛ woyɛ ɔkyeman ɛno bi na ɔmo ne yɛ di no ɔmo ne yɛ di sɛ ɔkyeman ne ade because Dumsor na ɛba NDC person a ɔmo tu ne din Dumsor no ɛnɛ low shedding na bi aba a yɛka ho asɛm but ɔmo se mɛyɛ mfrɛ no Dumsor yɛnka ne bibi foforɔ ɔmo install yɛ frɛ ne sɛn transformers ne ade by Ghana for ɛnyɛ yɛ no yɛbɛba bɛka akyerɛ mo sɛ bi ase anaasɛ sɛ monhwɛ deɛ ɛkɔ so no yɛhu sɛ ɛyɛ Dumsor anaasɛ ɛnyɛ Dumsor na nka ebuo kwan so paa no nka wɔn bɛba abɛ communicate akyerɛ mo sɛ oh yɛnim sɛ biribi kɔ so nti na ɛnɛ wei ɛbɛnya ne power say sɛdeɛ yɛde timelines ɛbaeɛ John Mahama pɛn so no nso this time na wɔsɛ mmea mi biribiara na ma to aso but wɔn mbuyɛ wɔn bɛ daadaa yɛn akɔ so adaadaa to the extent sɛ power na yɛde abɛka ho no wɔn agyae ne nyinaa si wɔ ɛnna obisa Mary plant na produce almost 2,000 megawatt of data power na and then when I'm shutting it down 2 years ago because almost is scanning bang MPP are buying way by ska or be generating ska or my benya nyina no busa won say the nti na omo ntimi invest bi your power na ye wonim ne Ghana fo eda sum na de em yakora ne say madam fo bi akọ Ghana na nsen a ye say ye hyew bi esa wo Ghana no wonim say galamsey na fe ne yenya so akatua wo galamsey na omo tu no omo twetwa ye nu egu ne ade no ama climate change yenya nnua bebre nti ehyew na ekoso wo Ghana na me ne wo kasa yi omo sa de Dumsor abe pie so Dumsor omo pese omo beka no kra kyerɛ eno me ne wo kasa power nso ni ho internet no a wodwuma betimi akoso ama wo nti Ghana fo ye de yenka no bebre mu nti ne ye wo hanom MPP for the attorney kontompo na ɛdaadaa mo epetumi nti no busana na do sɛ oba 7 years megawatt of power saying what saying ana ɔde aba abɛka power na ɛwɔ dada no yɛ no one bɛyɛ 2015 John Mahama solve Dumsor ɔno abɛtwiti sɛ oh John Mahama affects problem ɔno ankasa de bae ɔgye tum na nado ɛgye tum sɛ John Mahama problem ɔde bae nti asolve Dumsor ato hɔnom John Mahama yɛ visionary a all solve no ɔyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ na akɔfo adom nso anaasɛ Ghana ni bi a ɔbɛba abɛtoa so no ɔno nso anya so mfasoɔ but ɔmo baeɛ no ɔmo gye ma ɔmo nso ɔmo na ɛyɛɛ afei deɛ ɔmo ne nam a ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo de politics be wewura kanea nsɛm mu no ɔmo sɛ yɛn solve hwee but yɛn nyinaa betumi akae sɛ ɔmo ka kyerɛ sɛ friend is saying Dumsor no John Mahama ebe fixe ye ɛma ɔmo sɛ gyina ɔkɔ parliament kɔka sɛ yɛ discover bebree na solve Dumsor no Dumsor a yɛ solve na Ghana for enya so mfasoɔ na nkyirima nso abenya so mfasoɔ no ɛnɛ deɛ ne ehu ɔmo baeɛ ɔmo abɛhyɛte down of most of these power plants ana ɔmo de PDS deal bi bewurawura mu bɛbɔ Ghana for korɔ no your former president realize adeɛ bi wɔ the distribution and also the supply chain of power ne mu sɛ your distribution yɛ weak nti ɔmo build a concession instead sɛ ɛbɛtɔn ECD na ɔmo de concession bi ba sɛ ɔmo nimdeɛ ɛsa wo sika no bɛ invest mu sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a Ghana fo betumi nya saa power wei na akɔ so a ɔmo bɛ shut it down with the PDS deal ɛbɛwie a Ghana fo sika ɛho ntete ho na yɛhu yi sika na ɛwɔ sɛ yɛ solve deɛ saa deɛ wei nyinaa no ɔmo adi ne nyinaa a ɔmo adi ne nyinaa ɛnɛ problem a yɛkɔ mu no ɔmo nhu kwan ɔmo bɛfa so asɔre nti no ɔmo daadaa Ghana fo sɛ nyɛ Dumsor asɛm yɛka nyɛ no yɛbɛka saa but ɛnyɛ me nko ana me wɔ nti megyae na ɔmo hɔ no nso abɛka bi yɛbɛtoa so
yeah me da ase papa Paul wait biara fine let's go Paul and And this is a like I always jokingly said, a United Nations show. So I want my panelists there are people listening to us who can speak Hausa, people can speak Ewe, and people can speak Dagbani. So wherever you are, whatever you want to speak, feel free. Again, my name is Kingsley Komla Elikamote. My greetings to Honorable Fred Agbenyo. My brother will always be my brother, and yes, and yes, we are gearing up. Fred will be on the show, and by the way, he is the parliamentary candidate for Guan constituency. I'm hoping that the name stays like that. I think that is what it is. The constituency that the MPP government denied representation for 4 years. Honorable Fred Agbenyo will be representing that constituency, and that is a dear constituency to me and many of the people who know the works we have done in that area, the Lolobi Akpafu, Sandro Kofi area. I know. And hopefully we will be on the ground. So we'll be there to all continue to work. I schooled in Lolobi myself, so Lolobi is an amazing place to be. Okay, Paul, let me come to you.
Okay, Kingsley, thank you.
And then listen, yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me be very technical over here.
Yeah, good.
Let me start with the internet disruption in some parts of Africa. Let me also state that, it's a fact and it's known that in all the world, 95% of connectivity is through the fiber optic cable that runs through under the sea. That is a fact. It's just 5% of, internet connectivity that is going through satellite. Now, my question, when this thing happened, I tried to search to find out from Ghana's, ratio as against cable laid under the sea and then that of the satellite connectivity. Unfortunately, I could not get the actual data, but from what I am seeing, it shows clearly that Ghana may depend heavily, like the way the data gave about the whole world, may depend heavily on using an undersea cable for internet connectivity. That is why the break in the connectivity in the deep sea is affecting a lot of connection businesses and sort. Now, my question over here is, I mean, this is a national security issue, which I think we all need to look at it and then put politics aside. Why am I saying so? In 2010, I think either February or March, when I was the network operation manager of Vodafone, this incident happened whilst I was on duty. It took over a week and a half to 2 weeks for this issue to be resolved. What happened? There was a cut in the fiber optic cable in deep sea. So it affected a whole lot of issues, including national security, operations, and all those stuff. For me, as Rashid just said, we as Ghanaians do not learn lesson or try to, learn lesson from incident that happened to us. I'm surprised and disappointed to know that we depend heavily on fiber optic connectivity, which is cheaper, more reliable, more faster. But when it comes to security and backup, I thought we could have also built a strong backup of satellite. Yes, satellite connectivity have issues with, have its own disadvantage. One of the big disadvantage of satellite connectivity is when there is a weak weather, when the weather is not very good, the line of sight become very poor. And when the line of sight is very poor, it's very difficult for internet connectivity to be established. So maybe that is why a lot of countries, a lot of continents, a lot of people try to use the fiber optic connectivity rather to access the internet than going through the satellite, which is something that it makes sense. But I think, with Ghana experiencing this thing for the second time, I think the time has come for us to invest heavily in satellite connectivity so that in the future, in case this thing happen again, we quickly switch over to the satellite connectivity fully on board at 100% and maximum capacity so that at least we can continue to be working until maybe the fiber optic cable is sliced down under the sea. Now I saw a letter that was saying that it's going to take about 4 to 5 weeks for this cable to be fully, worked on. And it's normal. But I think the NCA was being proactive because I don't think 5 weeks is too much. I think within a week or two they should be able to resolve the issue. But the NCA is trying to be proactive. They don't want to put pressure on them. That's why they give that 5 weeks timeline. So as much as I've stated concerning the internet connectivity, I think as a country, let's put politics aside. We all need to come on board. Let's get the technical people on board. Let's look at our backup plan. What is the backup plan for the country? What are we going to put in place so that in the future, if these things happen again, we quickly switch over to our backup plan, which of course is going to be satellite connectivity. So we need to look into that. I think we have to invest, devote some money down and invest into cyber connectivity, satellite connectivity in a way that, if issues happen like this, it won't affect us. May that I've stated and trying to be a little bit, professional over here. This issue should also send a very strong signal to all of us that, if the enemy wants to come after us in the peak time, like election time, if the connectivity point that, brings internet to the whole country is terminated or attempted with, you should know that during election, nothing will happen. We'll all be blacked out. Is this something you are ready for? I think this is something that we need all hands on deck to resolve and to look into and make sure that the right thing is that. So I will still emphasize that the government of this NPP and the NDC, they should look for technical people from both sides. Let's get technical people from the CSOs. Let's get technical people from, the ministries who are technically inclined. Let's all come together. Let's find a way that we can build a very resilient satellite backup system to support our internet transmission in the near future. Now, when we come to Dumsor, I think Rashid have made a lot of good submission. And just what I just want to add to it is that when we come to transmission of electricity, we have been having issues. Prior to Mahama taking over, as Rashid said, Dumsor have become a big issue. We had issue with capacity, we had issue of capacity of generation capacity. But when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama took over, he said he was going to fix it. He worked very hard, and by the grace of God, with all those other entities brought on board, Mary, Sankofa, all those things, we are able to meet or have enough generating capacity and even have excess, whereby we are able to transport power to our neighboring countries. Now, what is happening in Ghana right now is that the MPP under this MPP camp, they are broke in such a way that they are having difficulties, finding difficulties in getting money, okay, to generate the power that is there. You need to generate the power. Why am I saying so? Because some of the plants may use gas, some use thermal, some use liquid gas, light gas. So there are different ways of generating this power from all those different plants. The reason why the NPP is facing issues are they don't have financial muscle to get those or to buy gas or to get gas, liquid gas into all these plants to be able to run them. Apart from that, too, they have a big issue of transporting and distribution of the power. Why am I saying so? Yes, they might be having issues with some of transformers. They might be having issues with some of the bulk distribution stations and all those stuff. But the major issue are not with those things. Ghana is developing, especially Accra, is growing at a faster rate. The question is, what backup plan do we have in place to be able to develop the network infrastructure to be able to ensure that we don't overload it. Now, this MPP government is bankrupt. They don't have the money to buy the necessary gas to feed those plants. That is why we are going through this thing. But as you stated, it's unfortunate that the ECG boss, the gentleman Mahama,
Right.
came. He has, the truth to be told, he has one of the guys who have really helped that company to stand on its feet. Let the truth
Yeah.
be told. But he's not saying the truth. He's trying to play politics. That is where the issue is. The truth of the issue is that they have issues with financial muscles to be able to generate money and be able to get gas, liquid gas, and all this to feed the plant. That is the issue. For him to be throwing that into our eyes, saying that they are doing some repairs works and that there are some transformers are having issues and all those stuff. I mean, unfortunate. It's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate at his part. For me, there is a saying, and I think Richard Ahyangba yesterday on Newsfire has appealed that we should stop the politics with the power generation and let's all come on board. I am happy. And the question was posed to him that, but they played politics while the NDC was in power. And he couldn't answer that question. He couldn't answer that question. He ran away from it. But the good news is that now that they've seen and they've noticed that power generation is not something that you can play politics with, I'm happy with it. I think our appeal that we have the experts in our party, I mean, the Kobla Donkors, the Abujina Pauls, the Bowers and Co. Let's bring all those people together. Let's help this government to resolve this, I mean, this predicament they brought to themselves, which is as a cost of financial investment causing this thing. So for me, let's look at the bigger picture and let's look at how we can go ahead to resolve this issue. So unlike the issue with the internet connectivity, whereby I don't think we have a very good backup plan in case the cable, the fiber optic cable goes down, that we switch over. In the case of the electricity generation, we have enough excess capacity. The problem over here is that we don't have money to fill or to buy gas and liquid gas to feed the various plants to be able to generate the power and to be able to sell. And also, because we are speaking about electricity, we know the government of Ghana and the ECG are owing the individual private companies that help to generate power for consumption. They are also pulling back their plans, turning off their plans because they've not been paid. And of course, if Kingsley, you are in a business and the people you are providing services to are refusing to pay you, how can you continue to provide service? So for me, whether it's Dumsor, Dum CACA, Dum Nekobra, Dum whatever it is that they are trying to describe it, it is an issue with power. We have issues with our power. I will urge this super incompetent Nanado government to come out and admit that yes, there's an issue with our power generation because they have issues with financial support and that Ghanaians should bear with them. But to play with the emotions of Ghanaians and the same people talking today are the same people in 7 years, 8 years ago, they made a lot of noise. I mean, they said all sorts of things that we are incompetent, we are this, we are that. But the good news is that His Excellency took the responsibility when there was issues with power and then solved it. We expect Nanado to come out, Baumia to come out. They should be truthful to Ghanaians. They should tell Ghanaians the root cause of what is happening. Until they tell the root cause of what is happening, Ghanaians will continue to castigate. Ghanaians will continue to, I mean, to go after them and say all sorts of things. The fundamental issue is his finances. They should let us know that the country is broke. We all know we are broke. Financially, we are broke, and we all know it. So they should come out and say speak the truth, and let's find a way that we can resolve this issue. Upon this note, I think I will hold on here and then allow other people to come in. Thank you.
Fantastic. Paul, thank you so much. To be fair and to be direct on this matter, we are all aware that at least 13 countries in Africa, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Ghana, Guinea, Liberia, Namibia, Niger, Nigeria, South Africa, Gambia, Togo, have all suffered some level of disruption.
So Kingsley, now, let me just add that the cut happened in deep sea across continents. That is why it's affecting all these countries.
Yes.
But that's as I stated earlier on, assuming we have a backup structured satellite backup, I think we should not be suffering like this.
Right. And earlier this month in March, Asia had the same issue, but that is the point I was getting to. They did not suffer as much as we are going through. And then the issue in Asia took about 12 days to solve. So these issues normally take about 12 days to deal with and be done with. That the issue here we are talking about is that many of these other countries are not struggling. The Nigeria and Co are not going through the things that we are going through currently. And Vodacom, MTN, and communication services in Nigeria have done pretty well. to deal with this matter in a better way than our country is dealing with it. But that is the thing. And again, we are not claiming on this platform that satellites will solve all our problems. But we are saying that depending on satellites is a major part of the ecosystem of the internet that we deal with. Now, if you are going to bank your whole life on fiber optics, then of course you need to have some backups that the providers will have to make sure that they are there. And this is some of the things that benefits from the 1956 speech, 57, 58 speech that Kwame Nkrumah gave for the African Union, if we were together. Because indeed, these things, it affects all of us. And so if Nigeria brings this capacity on board, Sierra Leone brings this capacity on board, Togo, if we are all together, we have a bigger platform, we have a bigger chance to bargain and have some of these things possible. Now, you ask yourself that why is every country putting satellites, dishes in orbit? It's because of these issues. America has what we call the GPS. The GPS does not belong to any other country, it belongs to America alone. The Russia has the cloners. The Galileo is there for the European Union, and India, China, they are all building their systems. Once you have 24 satellites, of course, you can say that you have a complete constellation. America is the only country that has way more than that. America has about 32. And so they are building to get to about 36 so that they are able to tell a lot more. But it costs money. It costs money. And that is where our attention should go to as a country. And instead of these funny things that Baumia talks about, I am digitizing food, I am digitizing free education. Look, as a country, you got to be serious. As a country, we need to make our people aware. We need to build roads, build good schools, make sure that water is available to the people, make sure electricity is available to the people. The ingenuity of the people can digitize everything. Mark Zuckerberg, because the internet was there, he was able to build Facebook. X, Twitter, was able to be built because the internet is there. TikTok is being built by some people because the internet is there. In Ghana, if you don't have internet, can you even think about building a platform for anybody? The government's duty is to build. The people will develop. If you allow the people a room, the people will think. But when we go have a vice president telling you that he's going to put internet in a bus, then you realize that you are in a problem as a country. And the funny thing is that when intellectuals are sitting down and clapping, that becomes a dangerous precedent. That becomes a dangerous thing for us as a people. And we cannot continue to look at some of these things and smile and be excited about them. Anyway, more importantly, let me go to
let me just a minute to add something to what you just said.
Right.
I believe digitalization is much focused on the digital infrastructure and strategic frameworks, right? You've touched most on the infrastructure, developing it and making sure that we are developing, and the people will just develop other the government need to build and the people will develop all the apps here and there. And we need to look at the strategic piece, right? What strategic frameworks do we have for the NCA, the regulators, to ensure that whenever they are onboarding these telcos, are they going through some form of risk assessment, doing some due diligence to ensure that there is no single point of failure, right? To ensure that their DR strategies and their continuity plans are there in terms of situations like this. But we can see that these big telcos in Ghana, they're having one single point of failure. And the regulators have failed us because their strategic framework is not there and they are not working. So if as a government, you are preaching about digitalization and you are not working on some of these infrastructures and these strategic frameworks, what are you talking about? So I just want to say they need to communicate properly for the people of Ghana, for them to plan their life because of these Dumsor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then for a government appointee or somebody's citizen, you get on radio, you get on TV, and instead of talking sense, you say, Mami watabe we a cable. Like,
That's a joke. That's a joke.
seriously? Like, seriously?
So Kingsley, let me also state over here that I mean this fiber cable that is broken and that deep sea that is what they are trying to resolve. I mean it's barely happened, but it does happen because you have submarines. I mean people are using submarine under the sea. All sorts of things, all sorts of activities are happening under deep sea and all those. So these things are much expected. But I mean, as you stated, if a government official, maybe he might not be a technical person, that's why he's talking about that. But if the person really understands the operations and how these things are laid out and planned out, I don't think that person should come and sit on radio and should be saying Mami Water. Mami Water has not done anything. We should leave Mami Water alone to rest where he is or she is. And let's rather look at as you stated, the way we as a country can put up a backup plan to build up a very robust, resilient, satellite, backup system, so that if in case anything happen, as I stated, so that we'll be able to switch over. And this all we can do because if you look at the money that is being spent unnecessary, Japan, PDS, all those money, that 2.5 million, is it GPS, fake assassin GPS that Bamia introduced. If all this money are put together and we bring all the telcos, as Rashid said, bring them on board, we ask them to contribute some amount of money, we should be able to build a very resilient satellite backup that will be able to be there for all of us, for the telcos and everybody. Now that we've lost in connectivity, the telcos are losing a lot of billions and millions of CDs every day. So I think it is time for us to have a broader conversation into these things and then look at the technicality and the feasibility aspect of it and how we can implement it. So unfortunately, this is my field. You know, my first master's degree is in telecommunication policy and analysis. So this is my strong field. So I will just end it here.
All right. Thank you. Before we get to our next topic, let us watch this. I don't even want to. I was trying to get Afenyo Markins on, but I think that let's make progress outside him.
As the first female running mate of the largest opposition party, it is very offensive to women in the Central Region. This is very offensive to women as a whole. To have such derogatory remarks being made about our running mates, and will not accept this. We demand an apology. She is 70 years old. She's a strong, beautiful woman, intelligent. She has all it takes. Well accomplished, all it takes to be a running mate. She qualifies in every single way. She qualifies in every single manner. But we cannot be having this kind of talk. It's almost like trash talk. We will not accept it in this chamber. And Honorable Afenyo must apologize, must withdraw, and must do the needful. For somebody who taught him communication skills, this is not what she taught him. Nana Jane taught me as well. This is not what I exemplify. So he should better go back and revise his notes and do the needful. And this is a sign, and it implies that either he does not respect the aged woman even in society. Yes. Nobody has in this chamber, as of today, has spoken about the age of President Akufo-Addo, who was equally old, actually older, in fact even older, even when he came on the seat. So please, we demand an apology, and we are not taking this lightly at all. And the Central Region is very offended by this. He is from the Central Region. He should know better, and he should do better. And the woman of Winneba should also rise up and tell him that what he's saying is wrong. His behavior is wrong. He should not be personalizing this. She has nothing to do with the state of the nation. The nation is in coma. It's comatose. You should figure out how they're going to fix it. After 7 years, they should not be complaining about the NDC this or the NDC that. They should get their act together. And he, as a majority leader, should lead that. We will not tolerate this. He should apologize.
All right. So, unfortunately, that is where we are as a country. Yeah. Okay, so we are in a country where the majority leader of parliament, Afenyo Markin, decided to, and by the way, he's from the Central Region. Professor Opoku Agyemang is from the Central Region as well. And an amazing woman from the Central Region. All of a sudden, Afenyo Markin got up in Parliament to speak on the matter of State of the Nation address. So because Akufo-Addo came to Parliament and literally said, nonsense, in dealing with the matter on State of the Nation address, Afenyo Agyemang went on this whole tangent about how Jean Opoku Mensah is old and she won't perform. By the way, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is way older. And he just went on. It's unfortunate that the women in Central Region are sitting down and saying nothing. It is unfortunate that the women in Winneba are sitting down and saying nothing. It is unfortunate that the women in Ghana are saying nothing. It is unfortunate that people who are older in our constituencies and our communities, our regions, are saying nothing about this. It is unacceptable. It is barbaric. It is childish. Majority leaders should have known better. And of course, well, this is what the MPP wanted. That is why they kicked out Chairman Sabusu for an idiot like this to make statements like this, and I can understand. Let me go to Ilyasu. Ilyasu, on this matter, your take.
Yo, medasi biyumni akwenya ode mame. It's unfortunate. This time I will speak my main country na microphone related with me. Yeah. Yes, say abuwa no be wu na opre. Sana akamfo kan, mo say abuwa no be wu na opre. It's unfortunate. Somebody like that as the majority leader of your parliament in Ghana, as a friend in Moba. Nkeye na niame pese mekane say. Ya mame nom, and ma, let me generalize, menka say ma in general no. Without them, we are nobody. And only menya adwene without your mame nom no, we are nobody. Until for somebody like that to come up and attack this honorable and distinguished and acclaimed international professional lady, it's unfortunate. Afenyo Agyemang, bra na berenda unqualified apology, na making sure says same way in free will num and medium. Ninti ayakasa ne say MPP for you who adibi omo ho. Menka so munyina sebi, enye omunyina na etisa because your entity will be the same. Ebinu omunni ebuo emfama ema. And this is not the first time. Well, kebi mamin kebi. Yankase mema nko na wose odi omunya tumi. Oba betimi nya tumi, bema nso betimi nya tumi. Enu na kire se kebi mamin kebi democracy no. Etumpo. Hwe ewiase afa no nyina yet the greatest nation in the world, America. Your vice president ana Biden abediechiri oyeden so oba Kamala Harris. When we so be did not Debbie, she's performing. Ko Bangladesh, Kwashe, Sheikh Hasina, winning election 3 times because the people of Bangladesh won't penasem. Oyoba na ko IMF, Kwashe, IMF CEO, managing director, and so Oyoba. It's about time they recognize a manson bre aba. A no more brasun, I was see a man's opportunity. Yankase me mankwana, it may lead. We are see a fananina. Baby a man a leading you, say man a exemplify umo. Umabo modern pa Liberia say 6 years ago near war Sir Elif Johnson as the president of Liberia. The time became Amasisia Obiaba. Into for somebody like Afenyo Agyemang, say Obeso Regina, Ghana Parliament, na ye mame bakope, a distinguished and professional lady, recognized globally. Na ubijina ho aka. Yet na would same the age. Age has nothing to do with the State of the Nation address. State of the Nation no ye mo and a Ghana 42 mi ashe munsem. In 7 years. A dear na motimi aye enu nanka 7 previous oh sorry nanka wa be chirichiri mo. Akufo-Addo ba no ne obeka ye ne ntimi nso me di bi ka ho na me yi bi efrem. But all of a sudden no what diverted from that tangent no akofa ye mame NDC mpanyinfo abona abaso say ono enebeye abadiuchiri for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama running mate. Ono na would that seminar they abetu mfia wedi. Ye mame ne di 70. Na Akufo-Addo tisu wedi ahe. Say na Akufo-Addo chen ye mame no. Nso won say NDC for are not making any issue about Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo the age. Nti ne mimi hu ni say MPP for no bi wo mu ni ebuo any enimdie emfa mama. And we are going to rise up and challenge them. Afenyo Agyemang ni bi na ye mami kasa ni oba camera so bekan no. You were taught by this same lady, and Nadauruma, the knowledge she imparted in you, has brought you to where you are today. But it's in your Upia, Esrenani, or Nichiachia, or and then when you be agina, into Mameno, Nasida, and say, Ubicanum poor, ni age and Odibaya politics. It's a no. It's a no-go zone. And Afenyo marking, we need an unqualified apology from you because it does not speak well of you. Baby anka utibie any ujina ye edruno and sesen kasa asemi efru number. Ye mami me metimi me bo aka says ye ka ewiase nyina on se men kasa Ghana. Ewiase nyina no ye ka one of well accomplished ladies in the world. Ye mami na Professor Opoku Agyemang is one of them. Why? Because she has an impeccable resume. Ejumo ye free. Say owie school besin ne ewo internet so obia betimi hu mami ejina bia ojina. Ejumo bia di ama no bia no mami a excel. Eba ne sen ana ye no ne sen na ambe na ene tumi kakra wo nti as majority leader. Utumi begina parliament. E de mami enim twifom. Entwe yie. We are not going to tolerate this. You were elected, your government was elected into office for you guys to come and what? Help Ghanaians. Govern and let every Ghanaian feel that, yes, we are in the Fourth Republic. We have a government that is taking care of us. If you are short of that, more failing, more intimate and deliver, don't personalize. The politics is not about personalization. Yeah, mami, boni ben waye. Onye boni biya Mona modi mo na mo se mo yede MPP na mo kura mo yi na nado danko a nemfie ekwa yinmu say onye mo president. We don't have issue with that. Yanzu ne yede ho na say the largest opposition in Ghana, NDC, yempanyinfo no ekohia ye e de omuti kambo mu a omu say the best person obitimi aboa ye wura John Dramani Mahama na amana itime tumpo ye maame no. And no mo yi no as running mate. Ka we de sen kan fa wo ho. Nso no enam se munni bibia yenti Bibi na mo di aye politics na mo personalizing no obe attack ye mami boni be na ye mami aye Afenyo marking. Somebody of your caliber should have known better. Debi aye ka say school bebrebe no nkyere say 7 previous o nyensa o. Yes, everybody can go to school, but adiebi or a friend of critical thinking. Do we all have that? It has eluded some of us. Critical thinking is very important in human endeavor. Obi bitmenya PhD 10 kura, I don't care, but all lucky that critical thinking skill no inti obiena no okasa trada mami de nke wo so obia bona baso ye mami Professor Nana Opoku Agyemang mami why ade mo nyame ntu nkom nyame nhirawo wa serve woman wa som Ghana paama aso ye nyina ye ni na omu amusi omu hu ye no de omu ento ayampia ya ye hu no de ebebo mpa ya ma ode bia Nyankopon ma wa pomuden ontu nkom na emwe bi wo as ye mami penyin betimi de aboa ye wura John Dramani Mahama na omana etumetu ne mpono etu mpono ye sere Onyankopon emfa mawo na Afenyo marking wanya de Ghana has more problems under your leadership and also will tackle no near oman penyin be kan no. There are a lot of challenges facing the country and no also pay attention to as a majority leader no abeka but yes uba no abe peke on ye mami ba ko pe you know enim all over the we are seeing in mami say nimfie and na odi bedi agro entwe yi ebiom Kingsley and awkan no. This is a wake up call. We are not going to countenance, neither are we going to tolerate. So obi be sorry now we what the emma enim etwitwifom. We have gone past that. Emma enso di president ye mama mo examples that are in other countries IMF nyina emma and the CEO and they are performing marvelously well. Into I don't see why so oba ye uniso on your running mate na obejina. What has her age got to do with what is at stake in Ghana today? Mona mo abe mo na danko chen na jenu Opoku Agyemang by far. Nso so no yo man penyini. Into let's put that your friend say trivial and unwarranted, jokes aside. So oba no abe personalize it na o mami udi ne be twitwifo. But there be mami baby a wojina nipa he ne betime gina ho. That is the question that I'm asking. Mami baby a Nyankopon e de na ekodru nipa he and a betime ekodru ho. Ye no be say lucky and e be nya 1/4 of what she has. It's a fact of life. Wo inti Ghana has major problems as a majority leader no. O sorry ma o kasa no monte Kebibi na Ghana form fan too margin. And yes, I was sorry no abeka about obini age. Ye can age the ankanana do dan kokura son kura de nkono che mami. Into way a wake up call to all the women in Ghana. And ma mo Ghana. Emrenedru. And ye mema nkoana omu di president ye and man so di president ye hu ewe wiase afana no nyina. Into no ma mo nsore na munye dede. Asama papa no kan entwe ye. Attack on one woman is an attack on all the women in Ghana. Samotena ho no mo anka bibia akina bi obi nso be sore na kyese afide de ma enim etwitwi fom. That is where we don't want to go. Nti e ma na mo Ghana no we ade e wo se mma mani kon. Ye beto aba mumma MPP fo hu se montena ho emmo momfa mani mu twitwi fom. Samotena ho trada na mo anka bibia ye de nana Opoku Agyemang enim etwitwi fom. Akina bi no ebeye wo emma mo central region ebi ne ye ka no mo amode hye and obi ne nimu twitwifo nom ne odi ne nimu twitwifo no so free central region tie na mo aye rise up and let him understand mo na moto aba ma no obeye MP awakoye majority leader mo besa to aba ayi na free ho wo ye MPP ni kura no a mo nkoto aba ma NDC candidate no na mo yin free ho adan because omuma ye ken so wo yire odan yire echi ana meboa enso no wetime begina abontin obi ma me de e de ne nimu twitwifo the women of Ghana, this is an opportunity for you to rise up. Let your voices be heard. This is an attack on Professor Nana Opoku Agyemang. It's an attack on all the women. If you sit down aloof, ene ye di aye no echina ebeba mo so. Nti kakra me woka efa hono no nti no it's about time we stop personalizing these things. Ghana has a lot of problems that we need to address as a country, especially ye mawakunya to become a parliamentarian. It is not a right. It's a privilege that the people invest in you for you to represent them. Please shut up. Shut up. Don't just stand up as somebody of your caliber and what? Try to play and use the age of somebody, as a political tool. It is unacceptable. It is not right. We are going to vehemently protest. You need to come out with an apology to apologize to this our mother. She has excelled. She's an exemplary woman, and she has not offended anybody. Thank you, Kingsley. I yield for somebody to come.
Papa. And again, Obia, NDC, NBP4, all of you are welcome. And I'm very, very happy, sir. My brother, very controversial MPP man is on the line. He's here. I beg all of you. I tolerate, understand. Maybe disclaimer. Everything that Nanayao says, I am anyway, but it's fine. Nanayao is very good economist, but he doesn't understand Ghana politics. Nanayao, Akwaba.
Oh, Kingsley, what do we got?
Wait,
sorry, maybe I'm wanting to meet a video, but
no problem.
Mr. Eliasu Tamanja, I hope so my body didn't correct.
Yeah.
Or no, now, Mama, but I am with you, me follow, but near my schedule, be tight into the be having TV all the way out. But I remember about so many years said the be my account. Politics is selling of ideas. Into our ideas about Ghana for beton. That is the core going to many and how many will be people be in this new and it doesn't bother me one bit. That is how it has to be. Saying now, me know Christians, Kingsley, me know Christopher. But me say we call Presby, me must try we call Presby.
Assemblies of God, pa.
And that change when you na mko pomba. It's the same principle na me about politics more. We me know we ntimi NDC, ntimi ife bushia ba ko, ntimi ife papa ba ko, mama ba ko. Intend there. But I like politics of progress. They said Mr. Eliasu quality out Afenyo marking.
Yes.
That kind of politics is progressive. That kind of politics na me manage on. Oh, the amateur. See, need me call us Ochina. Sabi you koto abana Ghana for unto MPP no mutumen this year. Sabi you NDC for no omonye Ghana for. Or Ghana taxes no. You bomb particular party. No. Intino Ochina or the same mindset you call your koto abana NDC be winning. Yes, politicians and yes, Ghana has won. It is a man this na many people na this now or more the mindset to have a pie the politics and the bar. I can state in opposition and feel comfortable that even the government that I don't like, at least minimum standard I can expect from them. That for me is the kind of policy visa Ghana SCA Queen. Then your policy said we can't race to the bottom. And then the end of we will all be digging ourselves into the hole. Or China head, maybe constituency I'm why you and then me call me MP no or NDC MP. Nana Teddy. Maybe will be a Michiam. Me call and then on any leader, me pay be a car. Maybe a case the man do, but a baby here me MP and why then. It was something to me floor of parliament and make any statement. But statement be make I have to go to my MP. That is my MP, whether I like it or not. That is what the people voted for as leader.
Right.
Oh, they are mature. No man paying for the service you send ye Obiana to Obama or Ghana, but simple majority rule to no dear man paying. Oh, they are mature. Does that mean say service you
majority them in when you are doing Daniel? The majority of
oh, there's something they make what out, but make us what is in fact what they're waiting when you my emphasize argument to each other. Every scene then this is one easy so I am paying. Until
easy who could not defend the truth. Yeah, but what about court? We see what can Ukraine would have defended Ukraine now.
Oh, with you, my uncle and you cannot go on forever. My uncle and him. Until I'm able about I like the progressive politics now, Mr. Elias, you know, the other panelists who come referring earlier Rashid Ayano. Me feel say this is your these are the people who needs to be speaking more for the NDC in front view on the amateur. So there are people Ghana phone can feel comfortable. And young phobia said you take politics now. The you Kingsley who to opposition NDC by so we were maybe life now is not dependent on politics.
Right.
That kind of people in young phobia or more the politics so money power. Not just some movie as in then.
Right.
So Uncle Fonde, if you rely on them on Ghana, may come and you crew number one just for them to satisfy their personal greed. Oh, they are mature. Intimidated, they may bomb about me, but if you listen issues now, as far as you guys are ventilating the issues and giving your, alternative views and espousing and putting the government in check, Kingsley, that is how it has to be. I make Ghana 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week. I mean, which I didn't say Papa Nakano. Me call first, me call Ghana first.
Aye.
Or this a Dumsor, me call Kumasi, and a me who said Kumasi, what you doing best like 6 hours.
Right.
After, or what you doing best like 6 hours. But I'm also who now me who is out like we don't want to know muscle. And I was like, now soon 1 hour no muscle, the high is that Dumsor. But me call Kumasi near Accra, and I remember be fishing home crown. It you did last year, maybe fish home, do best. Or the sense 7 hours me who have the never can answer the parking ground. We have to wait the following day. Me like I may answer my flight near the 10 p.m. flight.
Right.
Until I had the day to do it. Into the Obama can if it is doomed, so let the people know. How can you prevaricate about this and think that the people know who feel at the end will not know?
Right.
Maybe so yes, I can you're insulting the people. Be frank and truthful to the people. The fact that today also going to challenge doesn't mean say Ghana. There will always be problems with Ghana. Ghana problems will not end with Akufo-Addo. Until me feel say no crane we shouldn't prevaricate and we shouldn't allow politicians to think they can take all of us with fools. One day mature. Until me feel say is hard. Or now the Ekoto Banagana for the better. And people will not rule forever. And this will not rule forever. Until many the progressive politics, I'm all for it, regardless of where it is coming from.
Two questions before we join. 2 questions. And for Ade Awuko Femudie, Nanka, Unya Yanka, Sabeto has to say that your friend Dumsor and free.
Kingsley, whether friend do something, so Ghana for the back of Toba. Hey, Opa man, different name, Opa friend or the same Dumsor, whatever. Ghana for no Philadelphia, no money name the too. It doesn't matter what word you want to put on it. Where's Accra now? I say you are making them feel like they are stupid. They don't know what they are complaining about. What would they make sure? To be honest about it, we feel say, hey, Ghana, you better about and found only dear upper or the best man one now farm. So what yes, I dear Massa, Obama or Castle now, Oba can send it. But how you be on another day? Say you the food man now, political party being power, won't mean living a life there. And you're on the and for you go to Rebecca say a cow. Because of illnesses are not coming. Now by you know, those things that, like I said, no, I mean, as far as it goes.
The last question, Mao. And again, Daniel MPP Nipa is a solid MPP guy, an amazing guy. or very Maryland, this DC metro area, Virginia. Why we MPP Nibia here, Moabia, on the dinner, our screen, so Nanaya, Asari, and Ponsa, what to be adding on Facebook, what to be beside this guy, MP for more.
I guess this guy get wrong with you.
I shall too. I shall not brutal. Daniel, last question. Last question, Mal.
Yeah.
Auntie, do you think, say, comment now when you come back in May and make it, is it appropriate for you are talking on Nanado Dankwa deliver a speech on the State of the Nation address? Now going on a tangent to attack the 70-year-old professor, and especially knowing Nanado's age, is it fair? As a majority leader.
Kingsley, it's just out of place. Sebi you mama me for politician, Sebi mama we or me politician na the private life no Afenyo mark and academic life on me achieve. Uvi sanka obi to do. To be a vice chancellor of the university, uvi say adiketo. You think that it comes by just accident? It doesn't come by accident. Sometimes yeah kasa young twelve you politics name be say outside politics no how mama we if I was competing within private life. And baby, I would do sabi. Make me do. If it's a way understand, you become sober. Sabi. There's life beyond politics.
Right.
There's life beyond politics. Into no, Mr. Politics. No, my betray away, baby. But Mami Ojinawi to be a vice chancellor of a reputable university like UCC, and I was high about and you say Bemo.
Yeah.
Time a vice chancellor, and then you come on sao.
No.
And yet that sabi University of Ghana be there. My name is Tech France from when you there.
Yes.
If you say one credit is due someone out the manner, it doesn't demean you. It doesn't take. It only raises the bar for everybody to aspire, regardless of which political party you are in. If you have fine brains putting themselves up for political office, we should encourage that. It should be encouraged across the board. I mean, it's needless. I can go and attack the woman on its credibility in terms of the Juma Wire. That is fine, but to just target say or your bad or say in the Ghana for politics there, Ghana politics and this no. People have moved on. It is a one who year, no one should year. Now we are so bad to the end there may come and I would not be different. Right. Politicians have to be very mindful about Sabi Castle or Moka or the amateur, especially when you panel can ask them in private life, they want to turn out, you come nowhere close him. But for politics, in private, you know, can be a fan. Many I have my time to criticize on the policy in a way that is fair. But on the personality party in that age, na Kroma America, so only age, you have only your presidential candidate. So Kroma, America, Democrats now, most of only your presidential candidate age or medical election.
Seriously.
You can't always get it and open, no. And everything will always fall in line and open. You have to sometimes have trade off and live with certain things. And so said you are paying in the vice president office, no. They have so many people that work under them. Sometimes, all you need is a leader that knows how to mobilize the right people around him.
Right.
That is all you need, especially executive presidency. I think that is critical, right? If you're able to mobilize the right people around you, because it's executive president, you can rule. But if you don't get the right people to mobilize them around you, now when you conform how they are, and found age limit me young to send me, you come and mess that.
Right.
Until the minute there, Kingsley, age issue is out of. If you say that is move you on. Ghana, we are not even there. We are not going to waste time on. And
fantastic. Charlie, me that's Papa Daniel, and you can stay with us so long as you have something to say. We will bring you in. Daniel, Martin and Kano, just like everybody else. If you join us on the radio side, number now. I'm not for you or radio no super. They don't see you or they don't hear you on social media. And the link to it's available on the comment section. And you can use the link, come and join us. We MPP New, just be civil and just go straight to your point. Daniel na wote ne kano. Woko on the Facebook your friend Nanaya Asari Amponsa. Wo do what we say on ne bamuya jina ho na bamuya sere ne sika. We MPP now. What me sending a message? Say who meow or Ghana? What me sending a message? I mean sure that let me bring Paul in. Paul, on the matter of Afenyo attacking the beautiful Jane. And then, by the way, this is the only Ghanaian woman that I know anyway, who is a chancellor of a university outside of Ghana. I think she's a chancellor in Malawi and that's one of the Southern African countries, a university, because of the work she did. And because of the work she did, now other universities in Ghana have vice chancellors that are women because she performed. And again, those of us who are UCC students, we are proud of her. And by the way, yes, I'm a custodian.
Yeah, custodian. Yeah,
Yeah.
custodian.
Being custodian is by birth, it's not by affiliation. I mean, other halls are by affiliation, but custodian there. And Paul, let me come to you.
Kingsley,
yes.
thank you. Was it Nanaya from New York who just spoke?
It is your one and only Nanaya, brother.
As for him, he's lost. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. So I'll not
allow him.
Yeah. Let me talk about Afenyo Markin and his unfortunate comment about the
Prof.
able Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang. It's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate for Afenyo Markin to make such a derogatory statement about the professor. When we are talking about credentials, it is not something where Afenyo Markin, he's nowhere near the academic achievements, or the achievement that the professor has chalked in her life. So for me, coming against such a person was very unfortunate. But I mean, I think, and I know for a fact that he has withdrawn and they've strike out all those statements, unfortunate statement he made in the House of Parliament against the venerable and the distinguished lady Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang. Afenyo Markin had nothing to say. I mean, instead of him to run up on the State of the Nation address, I mean, he has no message. That is why he tried to go that tangent. And I think his lesson. I mean, we'll let it go. But I mean, this is what I will appeal the people in Efutu Senya. Is that his constituency? No, Winneba.
Yes.
I will appeal to the people in his constituency to vote against him because he has even stated in Parliament on records that because he's fighting for the LGBTQR whatever it is and that he's going to lose his seat, he's ready to lose his seat. This is somebody you cannot trust. This is somebody you cannot even put any faith in as a leader. And I'm surprised and disappointed how he became the leader of the house. But as made that it may be, whatever unfortunate statement that he has made against the professor, I think the line is set and he has seen his smoothness level. He has apologized. Let's move on. Let's rather find a way and means whereby our leader professor will work very hard to increase the numbers of His Excellency in the Central region. That's what we should focus on. And I think Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang have all the capabilities. He has all the empirical evidence shows that she is ready to increase the vote of His Excellency in the 2024 December election. And I will not be surprised that if in December the MPP will not even get more than 3 seats from the Central region, I will not be surprised. Let's work hard. Let's make sure that the 2024 election we win it. They will plan and do all sorts of tricks to cause confusion, to bring confusion among the good people of Ghana. But we are going to be focused. We are going to be very focused and minded and make sure that we go into this election, making sure that we get all our tools ready and make sure that they don't play any games and tricks on us to rig the election as they did in 2020. So for me, I'll not waste my time much on Afenyo Markin.
Right.
The records have been stated, and Professor Nana Opoku Agyemang, who has been chosen by His Excellency, have become a headache for them because there is nothing they will get against her. The 2020 election, remember, they didn't get anything against her to attack her, and that is a headache for them. And that is why they are trying to, use Afenyo Markin to attack her age, attack her as 72-year-old. What she come to do? But if that's what she wants to do, Afenyo Markin wants to do, we can even do better because we have almost an 80-year-old president who is sitting over there, who we don't see what he's doing. So it's not about the age; it's about the wisdom and then the evidence and the track record you've proven. And Nana Opoku Agyemang has proven she has the track record to be able to lead us to be able to help His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the vice presidential candidate to win power in December 2024. So I'll not say
All right,
much
Paul.
on this. Thank
I
you.
will continue. Paul, let me continue with you. So, High Court 1 Adenta, High Court 2 Adenta, High Court 1 Amasaman, Circuit Court Wager, District Court La, Teshi, District Court A and B Medina, High Court in Sawam. The Supreme Court of Ghana, the Chief Justice, have introduced a shift system that is this is supposed to be a pilot. A third session is supposed to come, and then we will run 24 hours. Paul, start from there. John Mahama said he was to introduce a 24-hour service with some of these things in Ghana. The Supreme Court has come out and said, look, we are starting to pilot in these courts. Do you think it is the Chief Justice? Do you think it is an indirect endorsement of the 24-hour that John Dramani Mahama is coming with? Paul, start.
Well, Kingsley, thank you very much. And we've all stated on this, this platform, and most Ghanaians have agreed and understand that for Ghana to develop, we need an economy that will run 24/7. And the only way we can do it is the agenda and the plan and the policy, economic policy, and that His Excellency has decided to implement. And I'm happy that the court is trying to implement something of that sort. Because if you go to our courts, there's a lot of cases. A case can take 5-10 years to be settled. But now that we are introducing, courts that will be sitting in the evening, it's a very good opportunity. Now, let's wait and see how the soothsayers will be doing. The NPP people who have said all sorts of things about the 24 economy, they've been mocking Mahama and all those stuff. Let's see if they're going to mock the Chief Justice for implementing this such a fantastic, plan to reduce the number of court cases that are pending. For me, this has come to confirm and affirm the plans and the visionary, policy that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama put out there about 2-3 months ago, which has become a headache for the NPP. Now that we are going to start sitting, the court is going to start sitting in the evening. Look, Kingsley, if your case needs to be, fast track, these are the opportunities, okay? The court can say, okay, we come in the morning, instead of postponing to another day, they can sit about 2-3 hours on your case and then rather push other cases in the evening and look at those cases. What are we doing? We are fast tracking the justice delivery in Ghana. And as soon as you start doing that, you bring sanity to the system. When you bring sanity to the system, what does it cascade with? Cascade to confidence in the people. The people start having confidence. And what will the end result be? It brings jobs. Because as we are going to do, or whatever they are going to do, they will need judges, they will need court bailiffs, they will need security people, they will need, the court, the taxi drivers have to be driving people to the court. So already, this simple plan that the Chief Justice is about to implement is already going to even create some sort of job that will, reduce the 14.7% unemployment issue that is a burden and national security issue in Ghana. So for me, it's a good idea. Let's all support, let's all applaud the Chief Justice for seeing the wisdom in the 24/7 economic policy that His Excellency has spoken about. And we thank God and that the Chief Justice has started, or she's about to start implementing these policies. And once she has started, I believe other organizations, other institutions will follow suit, even before we take over on January 7th, and we put our economic policy, agenda in place to support this great and marvelous game changer agenda. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Salisu, let me come to you. And then I can go to Daniel before I come to Rashid, so that Rashid can respond to Daniel properly for me.
But Mr. Morty, this is an NDC program. What is Daniel doing over here?
But everybody's invited. Everybody's
Daniel
invited.
Is a mischievous person. He's just come to that.
Daniel is our family member. Daniel is our family member.
Nana, I agree to you. Nana, I agree to you. I agree to you. He's my good friend. He's one of the sensible and intelligent and smart guys in the NPP who come to communicate. He's called a spade a spade. If he sees his government is not doing right, he is bold to speak it out. And that I respect him for that. And I'm pulling your leg. Don't mind me.
Paul, I know. We'll handle it back end. No worry.
Yeah, right. And the good thing is this: being honest, most of the people who have communicated for the MPP in the diaspora, a lot of them have been very, very good guys. My own brother, Collins Nyama, an amazing human being. Kofi Tonto, Kofi Agyemang. I will greet all of you guys. And oh Jesus, this guy that Nyama, he just did something amazing for me last week in Ghana. And by the way, he is the current deputy Ghana Water boss. Nanado appointed him. I'm grateful.
That's Collins Nyama.
Collins, yes. Collins did some amazing work for me last week in Ghana, and Collins, I'm very grateful. And whatever you guys are doing, just like I told you, Collins, just write your hanging over notes, and you guys can keep going. But they are all of these guys: Kofi Tonto, Kofi Agyemang, Collins, and then Daniel, amazing guys. And so we will continue to have them around, and so they can always join us. And anybody is invited and welcome. Eliasu, let's go.
Okay. Again, thank you for giving me the opportunity again to speak, and I welcome our brother Nana Amayao. I'm highly, Nana Yao, yeah, I'm highly appreciative of his comments. Yeah, that tells you that we are Ghanaians. We are bound together by one common cause as Ghanaians. MPP, NDC should not separate us. Ghana first before MPP and NDC. And I applaud him. He's more than welcome anytime to join us on this forum. We are here to share ideas. Nobody is here to antagonize anybody. Yeah, to this subject of the Chief Justice trying to implement the 24-hour economy, I think is a step in the right direction. Why do I say that? I said that because former President Mahama, when he unveiled this out, people started making noise all over. And this is not going to work. This is not going to work. But if you sit down and critically you analyze it, the very country where me and you are speaking from, there is 24-hour economy that we run in America. In America, I've seen the judicial service here on weekends, even federal issues. When they have critical issues, they need warrants. They approach judges and justices, and then they sign off, and then the warrant is executed. So if the Chief Justice in Ghana now looks through and sees that we have a lot of backlog cases, a country like Ghana, we've known it not today, that the courts are choked with cases. As my predecessor said, sometimes a case can take 5 to 10 years for somebody to get justice. And we say justice delayed is justice denied. So if the Chief Justice is coming up with this pilot program, I think it's a step in the right direction. He is showing confirmation and an affirmation of the former president's vision. And we must applaud the Chief Justice for putting that in place. But there are caveats. Let's make sure that this pilot program we are bringing out is going to serve the needs of the people, not for political expediency. That I detest. If it is for political expediency, then it's the wrong approach. But if it is something that our whole heart is on it, that we are going to do this for the good people of Ghana, so that the courts will at least be free, just like somebody says, this is a trickle-down economics. People will get job to do, unemployment will go down with 14.7 is very high, because taxi drivers must drive, people have to be security officers, must be employed, they must go to court 24/7, they must work. So it brings down unemployment. It's a step in the right direction. So all that I want to say is, former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has done it before. He is not novice when it comes to the political arena of Ghana. So the policies that he has brought up, I feel, is in good conscience that all Ghanaians must embrace. MPP, NDC must look at it. It is not that, Nania Mahama can, just for example, like free SHS. When the former president, he was in office and he came up with the idea. I was following it very well. He said, we are going to implement this progressively so that we'll be able to build e-block schools, dormitories to be able to accommodate our students. When he lost power in 2017, what did we see? We are coming, we are going to do it universal. Universal when you didn't even have the capacity to accommodate the students. Your former finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, was asked in parliament, and he said it, that the government had challenges when it comes to finances to even do it universal. His own party, people said they didn't agree with him. Why? Because he was speaking the truth. So this is an example with the 24-hour economy. If the former president has rolled out this vision, I think it's a vision that is not for only NDC. This is a vision for Ghanaians. Let's embrace it. It doesn't matter which political inclination or affiliation that you belong to. So it's a step in the right direction. The judiciary is one of the three branches of what government. We have the executive, we have the legislature, and then we have what? The judiciary. So if the judiciary feels that they are obligated by what the former president brought, and they can work with that, I applaud them. And I want to thank the Chief Justice. If this pilot program will go a long way to alleviate some of the delay and suffering of Ghanaians, I think it needs commendation. I thank you, and I'll yield here for somebody else to come in.
Fantastic. I think that, yeah, that is where we are as a country. Let Daniel speak on this matter. Daniel, Nanayo, so 24-hour economy, no? To see Madam Mama Getty, Tokono, or say, Nyansa Samna Jamahama Kayano, Piffy. She thinks that was a good idea, and then they will start piloting it in this court that I just mentioned. And with time, the third shift will be added, and then we have 24 hours. We'll have more judges, we'll have more clerks, we'll have more secretaries working in the system. And so that will create a lot of employment for the people of Ghana and for the judicial system, for cases to move faster. Daniel, what is your take on this matter? Hey, Nana, what Janiana? Oh, okay. Nana is gone. Nana, Obama, I think Nana, I don't know. I think maybe just network. He will come back. I know him. Also, Daniel never runs from a fight, so he will come on Bebapa 24/7. They said 24/7. 24/7 in there. But giddy. Jamahama is bringing 24/7. Rashid, let me come to you. So, what do you think? The Supreme Court Justice, our CJ.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is a solid endorsement of the 24-hour economy? Okay, wait. Daniel is here. Like I said, I told you guys, Daniel, he would never run. Daniel, what is your take?
Yeah, Kingsley, I don't be told about him, so I'm a casa. Names and no casa will be free from within me.
Okay.
Yeah, Kingsley, BB idea you ever break Ghana for ever Ghana for hand, you know. From regardless where it's coming from, if it's good for Ghanaians, it's good for Ghanaians. Like 24-hour economy, me, I've never had a problem with. I mean, what your mama is seeking to say. He's seeking to say I'll create more employment, I'll open up the economy, I'll do this. And he's summarizing it. That's political communication. And like I've told you, yeah, Kingsley, you can have the greatest idea in this way. If you don't know how to communicate it politically, forget. So politics, sometimes the complex things, you can't stand on the stage and be communicating it in complex manners to people, because this is a political campaign. You have to have a snipey way of communicating a complex thing in a very simple way so that people can relate to it. And that's one good communication that I think the NDC have gotten right? So that should be applauded. And if students are listening and you're political strategies and you're listening, you should be encouraging politicians to be able to break their complex ideas into simple ideas for the masses to be able to absorb. As for the details, there will be a place for that. We can go and scrutinize that. We, the ones that are interested in looking at, paperwork and we have time for that. But on a political stage, you don't have the luxury to come and be explaining details to people. You have to have a very simple way to pass your message across and move on. So on that note, for me, I don't have a problem with, his 24-hour economy, whatever. It's coinage. But, and if the Chief Justice, by our court system, is implementing snippet of that, I think it's good for us. Like, this is why I call progressive politics, right? Tomorrow, if Mama is in government, which I know we'll get there soon, and I'll challenge whether he will be in government. But let's assume Mama wins and is in government. I have something I can hold on to. So I hold him to. Something that I can question him about, even if my party is not in government. And for me, that is the kind of politics I want to see. Political parties must come to the table with serious policy proposal, so that tomorrow, if you're in government, I can hold you to something. because we cannot keep going like this and let everybody come and zani. Of course, I know we must hold people to something. And for me, I think that Chief Justice and what he's doing with the court, it should not just be limited to the court. There are so many other places where if we can pay people, we can create more opportunity for people. Even if we don't pay people, it is apprenticeship. People are willing to get internship and experience, and you get what I'm trying to say. You just need one experienced person to be there, and you have all these apprenticeship people who are around to learn from the system. People are prepared to offer, just give them allowances. It might not even be salary benefits with all the things that make the public sector payroll huge. And I can tell you, people will come around because people want experience. And you'll be amazed the number of people who avail themselves for such opportunities. So for me, it's good. But the question is implementation. Oftentimes, that is where we fail as a country. Hey, Ghanaians have very good ideas. We speak very good ideas. But when it comes to implementation, we are as bad as not planning anything at all. And that, for me, it is not peculiar to MPP NDC. It's in our political history. I've seen it in many instances. It's not as if we don't have the manpower, the brain power. But when it comes to implementing the ideas that we talk about, you'll be amazed how we are lapsed at what we do. So if we can all make sure that the implementation works as it's intended and the concept, the way it is envisaged works, why not? This economy needs recovery. There's a whole lot of opportunity in this economy. And if people can get recovery and opportunity and the productivity that comes with whatever salary we are giving people, I'm all for it. After our day, we need to move Ghana from one level to the other. And if they'll move us to the next level, so be it. So for me, I don't have a problem with that. But like I would say, given this economy that we have and given the fundamentals of the way our things work, are we on a particular equilibrium level that allows us to be able to implement this and achieve all the benefit that comes with it? That for me is a critical question that if I have John Mahama any day, I'll be asking, because fortunately for me, he's been a president before. He's been exposed to this economy. He knows the in and out. He's not coming as a naive person. So if I have critical questions to put to him, I believe that he should be able to give convincing answers. And for me, that is the kind of conversation I want to see civil society. I want to see people, what do you call it? Well, people that you call middle class in Ghana who really are into the details, asking the question. And based on the answers that the president will give us, we will be convinced that indeed he's thought through this policy. So I don't want to dismiss the policy like when people, Ghanaians want to assemble, we are also quick with the politics that we don't take time to listen to people. And sometimes I have that problem with Ghanaians. When you go to Ghana, they are looking at who is talking. They are not looking at what the person is saying. Kingsley, me pen this in here, no kasa. And yeah, this na me pen hamu. As some more can me person meet say be uma meet me near fima. Say me call me pen asem. What does that got to do? As some meet me for a beer fima. I can learn from a bad person who I even hate and pick something from him and go and be successful with it. That is, I think, the mindset we must all bring to this conversation. When people are speaking, don't tag them because we see people know away. Listen to what they are saying. Is there a message in there you can grab something? If it is, take it, add it to yours, maybe, modify it, enhance it, and let's move on. And I think if we do that, we'll be all good for it. Thank you.
And Daniel, you don't agree with many of the people who are saying, say Jaman Dramani Mahama or the 24-hour service bar, the witches will not fly in the night.
You see, this is the joke. These are the political jokes we must put aside. We must be serious because politics is a serious business. We must not be giving space for people like that to occupy our airwaves, right? We must give space for the serious conversations to come to the fore. And I think you and I and people who are on this platform, that is anything I go school. No, me come to school. The kids look to school. No, this never tell school fees now. No, me come to school. People never tell me school fees now. I join now go school. Kunya no boy. Near from boy society. No, and man be giving to sa pedestrian nema way. Now we waste a whole airwaves discussing pedestrian things that don't add significant value to our politics, our economy, our welfare, our well-being, our forward movement. And that's why I sometimes get disappointed in the media. They allow flimsy and, to say, useless things on the airwaves that waste everybody's time. I don't want to waste my time discussing. I want to discuss serious policy proposal from serious, presidential candidates. And so, if he's a Kingsley, and it's any man the Oba, because I do my bit baby. Let's have a very, what do you call it, enlightened conversation, serious conversation that seeks to put politics, like I said, progress to the top. So, Mama Becca 24 hours come. If you have something, come and say something superior and let the voters have at least two options, right? If they don't get the superior and they even get this one, we are better off as a society, right? So that's the way we have to think about our politics. And yes, the Jamas are pedestrian for be formudia. Kingsley, me know the fantastic ideas are when you know panel say we. Hey, if your party don't come, it doesn't matter. The any na become now, abe for economy now. If you need to or not issue. And then we can't do that.
Me da say, me da pa. My main kind will say, I think say next week, Nyamia Aduma, Ebia Yemenya, the former communication director of the NDC, Fred Agbenyo. Fred Agbenyo will be here hopefully next week. Julius Logas, hopefully, or but we'll be here 31st, 2 weeks from now, as a guest. So let's look forward. There is a lot of things. Honorable Yamin will be on our show very soon. Yeah, share there, right? All right, my main call, Rashid Ho, now on far assembly. Let's finish on this.
Yeah. Kingsley, media, me GD say, CJ, no. Ọma hu sɛ nneɛma bebree wɔ hɔnom a ɛwɔ sɛ judicial system no ɔmo tumi yɛ na ɔmo fast track nneɛma bebree but ɔmo nhu kwan a ɔmo bɛfa so ayɛ nti na ɛwɔ sɛ John Mahama 24-hour economy no ɔmo tap into it because saa 24-hour economy a yɛka ho asɛm Ghanafoɔ di agorɔ ɛyɛ me de paa sɛ Nana Yaw ɛwɔ so ɔsaa yɛ economist saa 24-hour economy no cutting across economics ankasa because most of your policies are Ghana most of them you concentrate on the macroeconomics and so but we know the Ghana you say your resources need to be limited a crime bench so you be fast watch the limited resources no you be allocating the kama 24 hours economy no you bet me satisfy sa anima we nyina ma etimi increase productivity. Here say be a passport office backlogs a go on. She a good DVLA. She need pay a cob santene salary so one person ye juma and also ye na money man tentem. Because of Sanyama way na the visionary John Mama Atnas yeah they sa 24-hour economy way ba ebe boa ama productivity across na resources kakra na one ya che ama obi answer can be na no the macroeconomic side ne ba no the macro no so obviously employment ebema ya fa nipa bebree nso wɔ adwuma mu but as I ana MPP for ne di agro cancer dia advanced countries ni nyina na yɛhwɛ systems we nyina wɔ hɔnom ɛbɔ ɔmo ama nneɛma akɔ so Ghana fo a ɔmo akwantu mo bia wonim sɛ yɛwɔ trade shift nipa bebree ɛyɛ adwuma anadwo adan na Ghana yɛntimi nyɛ bi abrɛ nim sɛ Ghana nneɛma bebree wɔ hɔ a wɔse yɛyɛ a yɛntimi nyɛ nti me gidi sɛ saa 24-hour economy CJ na hu sɛ yɛno nneɛma a yɛhu sɛ yɛntimi yɛ nyinaa na yɛtimi implement bi sɛ ne start sɛ yɛ pilot a ɛbɛboa yɛn ama yɛakɔnkan ama nneɛma a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛyɛ nyinaa na ayɛ dɛn ɛtu mpɔn nti saa 24-hour economy wei no deɛ ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a ɛwɔ sɛ nyame adom yɛn nyinaa ɛtena ho na yɛtumi implement no yie na Ghanafoɔ ɛnya impact no yɛhu sɛ ɔman no ɛrekɔ n'anim. Kakra me pese me kanon said be a bit your last topic so
all right my yanko shasema yen.
Okay.
So on the last matter no we covered and 2 years down the line and I hopefully we have enough minutes for Daniel to comment on it. Another danko akufado is or sebukena COVID abesia and I was going to ask that Daniel earlier say how was his experience at the airport? And of course, we continue to get to the airport. So many blockades at Ghana airport. Like you are stopping here. There's so many people trying to do this. Some of the people are checking your bag, and like some of these things is getting embarrassing, and it's sad. Anyway, let me get to you, Rashid.
Yeah, me COVID in the same way. I did on me dream why I name ya. Edamakoma supi. Me no, ye be a man called Ghana crowd there. They also me caught twice or at least once be. Just after the pandemic, 2020, me call Ghana. Me kono or me tears can be $150. Me chia me sa koi almost also a health declaration. Business and money me chia says can na me busa me say na says can we na e MPP aban we say can send be almost COVID near there. Meaning the last time I was exporting cars, I call Ghana. So COVID levy, you only say some minute percentage be so battery almost striking the figure can say so I'll say recently me pay cars be called Ghana. Me COVID levy in Kwa mi chia almost 9,000 cities. Oko Ghana say see now call restaurant now ko there the ebro be 1,000 cities. Ye the invoice no and I say receipt no COVID levy that's what in 2024 No obusan who say COVID time no Ghana. Yenye skapa IMF MI 1 billion US dollars COVID. Says Kano Kingsley Ewahe. World Bank MI ska almost nchichemu ba ukabuma almost over $300 million and omode so the Auditors General Reporter 2022 or Ushema or say Ghana spending over 22 billion Ghana cedis COVID in Kwaso. Your friend is saying for parliament or Becca say 18 years. The by not just 4 million be for baby. But men me busa me say that's carrying unite yan sa COVID time na COVID see in America and you be yeti ye me maiska yeti chase free ni ade am iska bet to your account you mate me bi ma ebusuafo wo fie Ghana for mo so e de sepe omo abra no mo ahwehiem but dey na ekoso wo Ghana COVID aba uji levy no ugusu to the extent say 4 years down the lane oda so just iska we intimi busa me ho say ska bebrebe na ye gie ni nyina ni ska na we he say ade ba ko Ghana ye nhwe ni no Seska we nyina afi ntimi account for it. And ntimi fine sense so say be scan ye de bi say ananse ye de say scan wen akwahye nipa ba akofo mienu bi botum because me ana me me bisa say scan wen because COVID see risk be breje hwe levy a ye gigi and the COVID levy uko heska a generate ama Ghana buy over the past 4 years and easy. Not to mention the $150 that you try for almost 2 years. Our airport says scanning in a hen alpha. A hen alpha, that's way 2 years says cano. In time, more cancer, say, Nana COVID near the COVID, then COVID among MPP for any scapa papa. To me, the Kaka mechano. MPP for any scapa papa or COVID.
Mamiko Daniel Horna, member Eliasu. Daniel, do you think that it is fair to as a Ghanaian, say up to today, the Ghana government should continue to charge COVID? I mean, apart from all the levies, Daniel, let me read something to you. I got a bill from Ghana Water Company for connection of water to a property. Capital recovery levy, infrastructure charges, transportation cost, inspection fee, labor cost, material cost, deposit against first bill. Daniel, do you think that the people of Ghana are being treated fairly with charges? And again, you like this, I know you have cleared things at the harbor and all of that. You see the things. Of course, Kennedy Japan have shown us some of the bills near there. Daniel, do you think that it's fair to say the people of Ghana 3 years down the line should still be paying COVID levy and all of that on the things that they buy, when even the COVID levy at the airport have been scratched for a long time? Daniel? Oh, Dan, I think your thing is going. I think, yes, you see what is happening. Even though, oh, Daniel, I think you are on mute. And I said, okay, let me just come to Ilyasu. I mean, he may have to get out and come back in again. That is part of the issue. Once somebody calls you or text message comes through, sometimes you'll talk and we can hear. Ilyasu, my COVID assembly, do you think that it's fair that the people of Ghana should continue to be paying for COVID recovery or whatever it is levy now?
Yo, me da sibi mne akwenya ode amame. Medical and the asida kesi amame Rashid, he just touched on some of the things I wanted to say. Kingsley, ubisamea as a Ghanaian, it is very unfair. Miss ubisama, I didn't make us because Rashid di kanya boboso for the sake of time nti. Fisika bebrebra a bar government in same during the pandemic era. Again, there is no accountability, there is no transparency as to where those monies were spent. Yen nebe hu ye say COVID time ne see ye noa mo e de amamamfo. Anameboa, ye hu jollof rice ayanwa kosua ba kompo ndaso. Ye hu wache ne yanwa, wache ni just shito. Ni nyina no aban no be ka kire say sika or spend ye ni. Ebi na discrepancy eba between the finance minister kan or 18 billion and auditor general's report nso by said 22 billion to 4 billion no afa baby. Intinu many Rashidi adwene say COVID buy no. It's unfortunate, but MPP phone is kappa, and it's a fact that nobody would deny. Again, just only Ghana and the men who says I deal with others for COVID by you $150 at the airport. Udruha or say a charge you. Sasikan or those monies collected cannot be accounted till today. Those days, Mekasi beside the interior, the finance minister, the interior minister, and the health minister said, when they are in charge of collection of this COVID fund, all of them were saying they didn't have an idea. But this is a sovereign nation. Our international airport. Now, a buying paying for bit me Ababaka said they didn't even know which entity was in charge of collecting the COVID funds. Only under another Adudankwa's government that you see such a thing. Fast forward, COVID came. And then you 2024, 4 years in Anameboa. Nase, obito adie free amanoni no de ko Ghana. Yes, I charge you COVID levy. Me dwene ho a me ntiase, me tiase enso a ayese ma nwene ho. Na na ni nyina no, me de somro kese ebo Ghana for. Adenti na make us ye wo kebi ma me kebi. If it is not good, rise up and talk to your parliamentarians. What is the parliament doing in Ghana? Parliamentarian, because ono kraniema ba oyini free. So it's about time for Ghanaians to rise up and let their voices be heard. Say it is unacceptable. Say COVID came 4 years. Now COVID levy. It is the only country on earth I'm here to see. So be another country be almost COVID levy today. They should bring it to you not next week. Fabeto platforms in your home, but me them feel say when you and and these were the same people when they were in opposition. Nuisance tax. You are taxing more Ghanaians than your predecessor. With all the money that you receive from our international partners and donors, you are still charging Ghanaians COVID levy 4 years down the road. Just say, why with all the national resources I want, and no ensuing wakohuma na yensa NG COVID levy airport any different say seaport we talk about the Ghana sisiana just ye san talk no krama visa auditor ha any shipment nti ama for be brain sta esifom nti me ubi semia entwa it is a policy that Ghanaians need to hold the government accountable because we pay our taxes to them today. Nti COVID no the COVID levy a Ghana for tuano emom de entwa and I'll be more than happy to see say Sadia no more. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Madam Muninas, time check in the studio, 5:58 p.m. We are wrapping up. We are sorry.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, sorry, no. Elias, yati biati wonka kama. Yati. Akpena me bete yada Muninas. What Daniel Fenye washi. Mungode. Hey.
I know Mungode.
Hey, we thank all of you. And in this month, in this month of Ramadan, it's a beautiful month. And we have some 30 seconds. Rashid, wish our people well during the month.
Yeah, Mutani Sumay. Muna wish ko Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan da muka fara ga muna addu'a da Allah bi da mu cikin lafiya ko me yi alhamdulillah.
Amen. Elias, you want to add some? Oh, Elias's things have started. Elias's credit is finished. Credit Thank you very much. My name is Kingsley Komali Kemoti. We thank Paul De Soso. We thank my brother Nanaya Asari and Ponsa MBP Nia Osika Maryland, Virginia. I wish you guys well. See you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll have the Honorable Fred Afenyo here next week to be with us. And then the week after that, we'll have Julius, the amazing Julius Logas, here. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.